Hello everyone and welcome. I haven't painted anything from scratch for a while, so today I'm making a card with a watercolor air balloon. This is super easy to make, perfect for beginners, and you don't need too many supplies. I will mention the supplies as I go, but if you want to see the exact product list, hop over to my blog. So I started with a sketch and I will be transferring it to my watercolor paper. If you don't want to be sketching, you can find an image of an air balloon on the internet and print it out. I didn't film my sketching as that is usually all over the place, but let me know in the comments if you would like to see me struggle with sketching. This is the almost final sketch. I did adjust it a little bit, but here are my fails. My problem usually is symmetry. It doesn't have to be 100%, but I like it to be at least a little bit similar on each side. Here I struggled with a balloon, with a circle. I just didn't want the balloon to look like it bursted mid-air. Since I used a sketchbook that I didn't want to tear up, I used a thin paper. I traced the image onto that. Next, I covered the back of the paper with the graphite of my pencil. You can also use a tracing paper, and you do this also if you printed your image. I flipped it over and placed it onto my watercolor panel and traced around the image, and because the graphite is on the back, it transfers the image onto the watercolor cardstock. I actually went back and adjusted the stripes at the top. I just think they should meet in the middle. Next, I painted the balloon with watercolors. I started with the stripes. First, I diluted gray paint with water, and I painted the two middle stripes, which I wanted to be whitish, off-white, that kind of a color. And for the other stripes, I used turquoise. I wanted this to be more neutral colored, so you can give it to men or women, or in this case, boys or girls, as I'm making a baby card. I also made a card with blue and pink balloon, which I will show you at the end. In order not to paint outside of the lines, so I paint as the pencil line goes, I like to move my cardstock in a way that the tip of the brush points towards the line and the belly of the brush touches the cardstock, so I can move the brush down following the pencil line, instead of trying to move my hand in a unnatural direction. After I was finished coloring the stripes of the balloon, I painted the lines of the cord that keep the balloon attached to the basket. I painted it black. You can also use brown if you want. But as I painted the basket brown, I wanted to use different color. Also, in the end, I came back and painted the white or gray stripes again, as you could hardly see the color. And I also added a little bit of splatter after the painting was dry, which is completely optional. This is something I like to do when I'm using watercolors. Next, I added the greeting. I used a stamp and a black ink. If you don't have stamps, you can write the sentiment yourself or skip it. I think the card looks good with or without a greeting. I used the words "Welcome little one" as I thought this would be a great baby card. One last finishing touch I like to do, and that is to add a border to my panel. When I'm using watercolors, I like to use the paints and paint the edges, just slightly adding a little bit of color along the edges to create a border. Here I used a mix of brown and black paint. I let it dry, and lastly I adhere the panel onto a card base using a simple double-sided tape. I make my own card bases, but you can also buy them already pre-made. So the card is finished. Here you can see it more closely. I really love how it turned out, and I hope you will try painting it yourself. It's super easy. You can use different colors. As I said, I made 2 other cards, and here they are. One with a balloon with blue stripes and the other one with a balloon with pink stripes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.